Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Dead Man Logan, issue number 9 of 12, dude. Alright, so Sabretooth is hunting down Wolverine. He's in this book. The fight doesn't happen in this book. It's not going to happen yet. But they're at the very hairy cusp of it. Alright, let's get talking about this book after we talk about who made the book. Welcome Back, Logan, Part 3. Ed Brisson is the writer, Mike Henderson is the artist, Nolan Woodard is on colors, and VC's Corey Petit does the letters. Declan Shalvey does the cover art, and the graphic designer is Anthony Gambino. Alright, so Danny Cage is being held down with a rifle to her head. She's assured that this gun doesn't fire bullets. Danny Cage, mind you, this is the D-A-N-I. This is the son of the daughter of Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. And they don't know if she's bulletproof or not. She is, but they don't know how bulletproof she is. So they're trying to assure her, this gun doesn't fire bullets. It fires a burst of radiation. Okay, one of two things. Either they just some straight up bold-faced liars, or they are dumber than dog crap. Why? Because first off, I notice there's grain on the gun, so there's an awful lot of wood there. It's built like an AK-47. You know what I'm saying? Effective, yet cheap as crap, and anybody can make one. Dangerous. There's no way there's shielding on this thing. So, I mean, just the idea that it's going to fire a burst of radiation. Where does that radiation go once it fires the burst? I mean, like, is it isolated to this person somehow magically? Even then, there's got to be some kind of an isotope inside, right? So what the freak? People are going to die just holding the gun, just being close to the gun. You now have a half-life. The question is, how long? So, yeah, man. Wow, these are dumb freaking... But they're also in a cult, so yeah, of course they're dumb. Anyway, Wolverine, Logan, he's trying to heal, but he had his lungs ripped out, so they're healing inside of him. He sure does wish he had some Regenix now, I'm sure, even though it's not brought up, which I'm glad it's not. They're like the size of, I don't know, walnuts. That he gives a size. And, so he's like, I'm at like 10% capacity at best by the time he makes it from the floor to over to the edge where he can jump off to get at the main priest. And he jumps down. He doesn't even have enough, lung power to propel himself on top of the guy. He lands like in front of the dude, and he's got to run up to the dude. And even then, he's got to fight against this Hulk killer who's beating up this Bruce Banner. This is just a fat-bodied kid, man. And I'm sure, like, hey, at least the mass is there so that when he's ready to start getting hulky, he could turn it into more muscle. But for now, like, he's just a blubber. He's a blubber. You know what I'm saying? This dude's not... Nah, he had no chance against his friend. Plus, he's just a kid, whatever. But here's this Hulk killer thing, and Logan has to take it down. Now, here's the thing. Although I didn't like the scientific application of the rifle, I love how he's able to take this thing down. He puts his claws through, he has to slice at the thing a couple times, but he puts his claws through the freaking monster, puts his fist into the monster so his claws go a little bit deeper, and he's actually able to touch the electrical pole, some kind of a power, probably not a generator, it looks like it's a light post or something like that, but whatever. It's some sort of a conduit of electricity. But he uses his bone hand, not the metal claw hand. So by doing this, here's this dielectric semiconductor, not a full conductor. So he's going to get the electric blast and pretty much be treated as though he's grounded. As though he's not grounded. Meanwhile, this, Hulk killer is clearly grounded, perfectly connected to this thing, and just gets the full brunt of the electrical blast, and it can't stand after this. Everything inside of this thing is melted until it becomes an open circuit and the electricity loses interest in it. That was badass. I really like the idea they did that, because if he would have used the metal claws, Wolverine's dead again. You know what I'm saying? And he's got to heal from... Oh, yuck. A charred freaking corpse. Anyway, so that was cool. I really dug that. I like the idea that he made it the right hand that freaking took the thing down. After that, everything else in this is just like there's nothing scientific to this. It's him driving to South Dakota, one of the Dakotas, I think it was South Dakota, anyway, to get to Forge. And it's cool, like the whole, well, you killed all the X-Men thing. It was played down, but there was still attention devoted to it. This is how you tell an engaging story. You don't like Brisson doesn't bog us down with a story that we've heard so many times, like the Batman origin story. Yeah, you poor kid, Mask of Zorro. You got scared. Bang, bang, Joe Chill, Pearls. Martha! I know. So instead, he's just like, I heard about the thing, but listen, I saw the videotape and I heard some of the audio. You didn't know. It wasn't your fault, man. It wasn't your fault. So now here's something interesting, and I'm going to need somebody in the comments below to set me straight. I thought that Mysterio still lived. I thought that Hawkeye met up with Mysterio later on. I didn't finish the Hawkeye series, so maybe I'm just getting this completely wrong. But in here, Brisson indicates that Red Skull took out Mysterio himself, like 2 years later or something like that. That's interesting. Was that a part of what happened in the Old Man Hawkeye story? Excuse me. Is that what we're just reading up on now? Is that Ed Brisson making canon? Showing the continuity, the shared world that what do you call it? Old Man Logan is in now with Ethan Sachs, the other old men characters. Because that would also be interesting in its own way, because it's been clearly defined with no room for question in this, that Marvel doesn't do a continuous time jumping thing. It's more like, if you leave time, you're creating a new alternate universe. If you do some kind of time travel, if you do something outside of the continuity, you come back to an alternate universe. It's not the same universe anymore. You just created a parallel universe. It's a constant, never-ending thing, and everything causes a new time stream. So, all of it's just going to bring question into it. So they could still diverge from each other, but still have a couple little things that, obvious would be of similar continuity. I love how confusing this particular thing is, because time travel should never be something that's easily understood. Anyway, yeah, comments below. Set me straight. Sabretooth now, he's coming up and he's right outside the gates of Forge's compound. And this does not bode well, because he's got a freaking army with him. Like, this is some Mad Max crap from beginning to end. Wow. I don't know how bad off Sabretooth is. Obviously, his healing factor isn't up to par, because he looks like the freaking Mummy out of Brendan Fraser's movies, for crying out loud, practically. And, of course, Wolverine. I imagine he's got full lungs by now. Did his eye heal yet? We'll see. But anyway, this was a fun issue. This was an engaging issue. There was a lot inside of these, paltry 22 pages, whatever it was. I'm not going back for a physical freaking count. It's not numbered. But anyway, I liked this. This was a really solid issue. This was one of the better issues of an already really good series, of an already great legacy, as far as I'm concerned. The legacy of Old Man Logan. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. I think that was enough. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.